Okay, so I'm on the road driving, and I've been like constantly thinking about what I want to do business wise and how I want to show up on social media, right? And in my thought just now, like literally seconds ago, I was thinking about how the Lord requires us to come with Him with truth in our inward parts. And in that same breath, I thought about like, dang, I can see how I have not been able to move past certain things because not because I didn't want to be truthful, not because I'm not truthful, but because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings by telling them the truth. I've held so much in that it's caused me to stay like kind of stuck in a certain place, right? And so now on the side of business, the same goes. I don't care what we're doing. Whatever we have going on the inside of us, it literally will follow us into everything that we're doing. So whether it's business, whether it's school, whether it's seeking, I don't know, whatever, it's going to follow us because it's in us. And I've always heard people talk about like, oh, maybe if I just move, maybe if I just go over here. One thing, two of my leaders said to me, they both said different times, no matter where you go, you got to take you. Now, that particular way, that's Apostle Cynthia. She always says, no matter where you go, you got to take you. And I would just, it's like, oh my goodness, lady. But she's not wrong. No matter where we go, the one thing that's going to be constant is wherever you go, you're going to be there. And she always says this other thing. When you change, people change. And when you change, people have to treat you differently. So stop worrying about people. Stop worrying about what they do and how they do what they do. You change. And when you change, you show up differently. Everything around you have to change. The people around you have to change. The way that people treat you, see you, all of it has to change. And so back to truth in our inward parts. I was going over a few things with my personal life and even in my on the business side of things. And I was like, dang, could it be my fault for not showing up truthfully? It's the reason why I've encountered certain things personally and even in business with certain clients, certain collaborations. It's because I've been hiding me. It's because I have not shown up with truth in my inward parts. It's like I want to show up, but I want to hide and cover certain things. And before Google rudely interrupted me, I've been trying to hide certain parts of myself because I've been trying to protect those parts of myself. And maybe one day they'll come out. But I realize now that because I've been trying to hide, when we hide, we cover. When we cover, we omit. When we omit, omitting is not fully showing up truthfully. It's not telling the truth. When someone omits the truth, they withhold some form of information. They give you a little bit of truth, but not the entire truth. Therefore, it is a form of lying. And I've been doing that with myself. And it's like, oh my goodness. I remember one of my friends asked me a long time ago, I am into like soft pastel neutral colors or whatever. And she was like, why you wear all these colors? She was like, this not even your personality. She was like, what happened to the Elise that used to wear like certain kind of colors, certain type of patterns and designs? And I was like, girl, that is... Again, so she was telling me, Elise, that's not really who you are. And I was telling her like, no girl, I like these colors. And then I had a moment to think about it like, oh my goodness, I remember when I was much younger, in middle school, high school, I had a particular style, bright colors. I like pastel still neutrals, but I had a little thing for a few bright colors and patterns. Patterns was my thing, and especially with shoes. I used to like to buy certain kind of shoes. They was real fly, whatever. So, however, she brought that to my attention, and she was basically saying, like, your new wardrobe and the way that you show up does not reflect your actual personality. Like, those of us who know you, how you show up is not how you are. And since she has told me that, it has never left me, and I promise it has been about 3 to 2 years since she made that comment. And I've been like, just randomly, I would go back to it. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're not showing up completely as you are. But like I was saying, I've been trying to protect those parts of myself because I feel like sometimes, based on my experience, when I've shown up a particular way, people feel like they can play with you. And one of the things I hate for people to do is, please don't think about disrespecting me. Do not disrespect me. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. And so because of that, sometimes I can come off very serious. My face is straight. You won't see me key-ha-ha with people. I don't do that. Like, I don't mix and mingle with people because people be getting besides themselves. They do. And I don't be knowing why, but I just don't want nobody to get besides themselves with me. So I just put on It's still authentically me. It's just a portion of me. And so I'm saying all this to say, when we talk about the scripture, God requiring truth in our inward parts, it is talking about David specifically is saying, like, Lord, this is what you require of me. And so here I am coming to you in truth, bringing everything before you so that you can help me, so that you can restore, right? But when I was driving, I'm like, oh my goodness, everything requires truth. Everything that we're doing is requiring us to show up as we are. And when we don't, that's why sometimes we get rejected out of spaces. That's why sometimes we don't receive all that God has for us, because we're not even showing up as ourselves. So when, you walk through the door, it's like, that thing or that person God spoke to us about, she not it, he not it. Why? Because you're not looking like what God showed them, because you're hiding, or you're not, you just say authentically you. Now, it could be for a lot of reasons, but yeah, that was my thought, y'all. Like, I don't know. Maybe that might be my scripture for the rest of the week. Sit with that. I'm going to put the scripture in the caption. Truth in our inward parts. Everything around us is desiring it. And maybe, just maybe, if we show up authentically, and if we show up in all of our truth, just maybe the things that we've been praying for and believing for, we will see. And for the business owners, I know that business now has become, it's a little bit different because of the age of social media. But I promise, if you show up as yourself, everything that God has for you will come to you, and in a timing. Because I remember, like, I just remember when people would be giving me advice, telling me to do things, and I knew I just could not go against the convictions in my heart. And I'm still here, y'all. I'm still a hairstylist. I'm still doing hair full time. Don't have another job, because I stayed true to myself when they told me that I was not going to make it, and I wasn't going to do this because I was doing this and I was doing that. Here I am. Not to say that anybody was hating. It was that's what worked for them. But I had to stay true to who God had called me to be, and the type of business owner he called me to be. And I know my temperament. And so because of that, I'm still here, y'all. And so I just wanted to share that truth in your inward parts. Okay? Truth in your inward parts. And I pray that this blesses somebody. I pray that for the business owner. I pray that for the mom. I pray that for the creative. I pray that for the whoever in school. Like, truth in your inward parts in every area of your life. But most importantly, with the Lord. Be honest. Tell him the truth, y'all. Well, I feel like I want to share a testimony, but maybe I'll share that later today while I'm running more errands. But yeah. So have a good day. I think I'm gonna be back. So maybe see you soon.